Hello, I'm the Ferry, and you're watching Underground YGO with Spidey and Kisame.
Hey, what's up, guys? It is me, Spidey24, with my co-host.
And my name is Riz That Man Unlimited.
That is disgusting. And today I'm doing the top 10 videos. You guys can see this is the top 10 most used cards on Masadu. Number 10 most used card on Masadu is Mochami Fuwaros.
To be fair, like the Mochami cards, like I've just never gotten behind them. It's like they are very good, and I just don't want to use them. I feel dirty using them.
All of them or just some of them?
All of them. I don't want to use them. I just don't like them.
I think Fuwaros.
I'm sure deep down I'm gonna eventually have to just accept that burden and just be like, just fucking use them because that's the direction the game is going in. But it's like I don't want to.
I don't think all of them are necessary. I think Fuwaros is the main one that you should be playing at least one of in the deck, and then Peruli is somebody you can use in your side deck. And then the other one that also from the graveyard, that's a side deck card, but I really don't think that one is good at all because it's so specific to like you got to be facing a deck that you know goes from the graveyard. Mm-hmm. So those are good for game 2, game 3s. But Fuwaros, every deck comes from the deck in the extra deck because everybody has a fucking extra deck. So in with Perulia is like just the main one, but that's it. That's number 10. I didn't make this list. This is the data. Number 9 most used card on Masadu is Nibiru.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Nibiru is definitely a very good staple card. I personally don't like using Nibiru because I just don't like how he makes my deck look, but he just don't look like he fits. Like, he just seems like an odd man out. And I have, like, OCD, where it's like...
What about the new alternate artwork?
I don't like it either. You know what it is? There's just something about it where it's like... hand traps, like, they look like small cards, so they look like accessories to my deck. He looks like a boss monster in my deck, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want you to look like any kind of focal point to what I'm doing. So, that's kind of how I am.
I think, well, funny enough, I did not know... I always thought Nibiru was just a rock. I did not know that it was something in there.
Yeah, he's an alien, bro. He's an alien.
I did not know that.
Well, he is.
I didn't know that. Isn't his type rock?
Yeah.
I thought it was a rock. What the fuck you want
Well, he's in a rock.
What you want from me, bro?
Your mom's a rock.
But number 8, not my number 8, the number 8 most used card on MasterDuel, which is shocking to me, is Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit.
Ghost Ogre has slowly but surely been creeping back up as a staple. It kind of dropped off like after its release, because in the beginning of its release, like people were hyping it up because it was like a secret rare, and you know, like everyone was like, oh my god, it's another like ghost girl and everything. But like I don't think it really ever took off because it really didn't negate anything. Mm-hmm. But I guess now being able to pop like continuous cards, field spells, just getting a monster off the board, even if it needs to resolve something. I guess, like, Ghost Ogre is one of those hand traps where I feel like is more of a complex hand trap, where I would say you have to really know your timing to really get the most effective hit on Ghost Ogre. Because if you're just, you see, some people I'm going to use like Effect Veil or an Ash Blossom and Imperm. A lot of the time, most people, they'll see an effect activate and they're just like, don't even entertain it. They're just like, I don't even know what the fuck you do. No. But you see...
I do that.
But, same here. We all have. But I feel like Ghost Ogre is one of the ones where it's like, if you do that so nonchalantly where you're not paying attention, the resolve could prove to be a bigger problem. So I personally feel like if you use Ghost Ogre and you use it effectively, you're chef's kiss. I feel like you know Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're smart. If you're, because I feel like it's probably one of the most high IQ hand traps to use.
I would have never guessed it would be more than Nibiru. But, hey, shows what I know. Number 7 most used card in Masadu is Effect Veiler.
Really? I'll say this. Effect Veiler to me is, he's just standard. He's
at
just
47.80%.
Like, he's standard. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's shit. I think he's starting to get power corrupt slightly, because what's happening is that cards can easily still kind of chain around him because he doesn't resolve. He's not like Ash where he shuts that, she shuts that down immediately. Mm-hmm. I would personally like to see kind of Effect Veiler go. Like, I kind of want to see him move. I want them to make a better card that's like Effect Veiler, that does like multiple options, like Ash, but in his form.
Okay.
So I personally think it's time.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Effect Veiler is a staple. I like it. It's a monster. It has multiple uses. It's a tuner. It has multiple uses for it. So I think that's kind of what's keeping it alive.
Okay.
Outside of just its effect and utility. Number 6 most used card in Masadu at a ranking 50.60% is Crossout Designator.
I honestly wouldn't have expected that. Because Crossout Designator is... I always see that card more as a side card. Because it's one of those cards where it's like, obviously, yes, we all use very, very similar hand traps. We pretty much use like the same lineup, like 20%. Like, I want to say a good 20 out of our 40 cards that we use, most of just either consistency cards or hand traps. So I personally understand why that would be a popular card just to kind of counteract the other hand traps that are being used. But at the same time, it's like, you know what it is? That card's very much like, if he knows what I know, and I know what he knows, and he knows what I know, like that takes it to like to a step too far for me. Where I'm like, that's why I personally wish Call By was just at 3. Because if Call By was at 3, I would just fucking use that, and I wouldn't even touch Crossout Designator ever. Next,
the number 5 most used card in the game of MasterDuel is Infinite Impermanence. And now this is where we really start jumping up because, mind you, Crossout Designator was at 50%, meaning half of all players used it. Okay. But Infinite Imperm is at 68.30%.
I personally how I just felt about Effect Veiler is how I feel about Imperm. I know I said it about previous videos. There's something about being able to chain around him that I don't like. I, little by little, have been taking Imperm out of decks. I kind of like, because you know what I do? I go back and forth. Like, 1 minute I put them in, 1 minute I take it out. Like, I keep, because I'm the type where it's like, I either use 3 copies or I don't use it at all. I'm like an all or nothing kind of person when it comes to hand traps. But
Imperm is just, it's the trap card. 3 of in every deck.
Yeah,
3 of in every deck. NRFB.
But I only do it because it's one of my daily missions in MasterDuel that I have to use at least 2 trap cards. That's the only reason why I use it. But no, that's not true. I genuinely think it's fine. I think it gets the job done. I just personally want to see more. I want to see a card that's like Imperm but better.
So what about the Dominus Imperm? Those Dominus Impulse cards.
What?
You have this, what? And then you have Dominus Purge.
I've never seen these cards.
You've never seen these cards ever? These are the new hand traps. These are like the new, like, the new...
Can I say it again?
No, not
if
Master
your opponent activates a card, you can activate this card from your hand. Good. When a card...
And mind you, no restriction. No, like, you gotta have no cards in your field that you just boom.
When a card or effect is activated that includes an effect of special monster, negate that.
This is why people use...
so then...
This is why people use one or the other, because this one does this half, the other one does the other half of types.
Okay.
So it's like you have
you only use the one that doesn't hurt you.
That's a great card.
That's, yeah. Can you use multiple copies of the card?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But you can only activate it once per turn.
That's fine.
So again, but you can...
Do you need anything? Can you activate it while having cards in, like, on the field?
Yep. From the hand. From the hand.
All right.
That's a good card.
It is a good card. All right. I eat my words.
No, I'm like, those are good fucking cards. So like when you say, oh, I want like the evolution of like, Infinite and Burn, this is it. Number 4 most used card on MasterDuel is SP Little Knight.
Really? Mm-hmm. Personally, in all honesty, like, I know that this probably...
I'm going to do a video that contradicts some of the things I'm about to say. But
I'll say this about SP Little Knight. I personally feel like it's a little too hyped. I feel like it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, to me when I first saw it, it kind of came off like as a fad, where it was basically like, oh, he's a hot secret rare, so let's overprice him, and he's a good,
like $100-something,
and he's like a good staple, so let's just use him.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen SP Little Knight get me out of a lot of tricky situations, and I've seen it used against me and got my opponent out of tricky situations, so I definitely see its use, and I definitely think it's a good card. I definitely think it's staple-worthy. Do I think it probably deserves to be, number 4 on this list?
Number 4 most used card at 69.20%.
Now, that I think is a little shocking, but...
It is going down. It's trending downwards. Number 3. The number 3 most used card in MasterDuel is Called by the Grave. at a whopping 71.30%.
I love me my call by so.
And it's at 2, right? In MasterDuel.
In MasterDuel, yes, but in the TCG
one.
one.
I was at 3. I think it's one of the greatest cards that ever made. I think it's one of the greatest cards Yu-Gi-Oh ever made, especially as a counter in the hand traps. But I understand why it needs to be.
You know what I feel bad for? I feel bad that when hand traps
on the first turn.
I feel bad when hand traps first started taking off and call by eventually did see the light of day and call by was made. I didn't use it at first. Mm-hmm. I think call by existed for, I want to say, a good solid. I hate to say it. I think call by existed for a good solid year before I gave it a shot.
That's like an instant, like, what? That's like,
know.
Just like with the dominance in purge and dominance purge, like that. Like, as soon as I read, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yup.
I wish I took the time to really like give call by more attention when I had the opportunity more, but I didn't.
Yeah, the problem is you just can't play both because it's like, all right, whatever deck. But yeah, no, call by is just amazing. I understand the arguments against it now when people are like, oh, you can't use it because the first turn is degenerate. I understand that. I get it. I'm not arguing against that because first turn is way overpowered. I think there's other ways that they should address that, like I said, with time limits and shit like that. But I think just as a card design in the direction that Yu-Gi-Oh is going, I thought it was a healthy card to the game. This is where we take another leap in the percentage-wise.
Okay.
So, call by was at 71%. This next card is at 89.40%.
Oh, God,
and this is the number 2 most used card in MasterDuel. Can you guess what it is?
I already saw.
I know. It's Ash Blossom. It is Ash Blossom. That is the premier hand trap. If you're ever going to play a hand trap, I thought that it might be high. I mean, yeah, it's pretty high.
You thought it would have the first place title?
No. Number 1 is number 1 for a reason. I think number 1 is the reason why people even play the app. Is to use that card. Because it's banned. But Ash Blossom is the premier trap card. I mean, the premier hand trap that most people will play. It's the premier hand trap card that most people will use. It is the most basic one that people understand. It doesn't have that many restrictions for people to be like, I don't get Yu-Gi-Oh! Too crazy, you know, whatever. Well, here's this. You can use this and help you. Oh, okay. Like, I think it's just an easier, healthy way to get people to understand what's happening in the games. Number 1 most used card in MasterDuel, and this is where we take another leap from 89%. Now we're jumping up to 94.60%, meaning 94.60% of people on the MasterDuel app are playing this card. It is Maxi. Maxi is banned in the TCG. Maxi is the only place in America where you get to play this card. It was running around at 3 for the longest amount of time. It recently got hit this year.
In my honest
to go
opinion,
down to 2.
In my opinion,
and people still play it.
In my opinion, with Maxi, with MasterDuel, is I go back and forth between using it and not using it because I don't ever not use it because I don't think it's good. I think Maxi is great. I've been an advocate for Maxi to come back to the TCG many, many times. Personally, I feel wrong using it because I know deep down it's not legal here. And my morals sometimes catch me where on MasterDuel I have free reign to do it. And,
it's a different game.
It's true, but at the same time, it's still my game. And I still feel like my deck should look identical as it does in real life, as it does on that game.
But I hate you. You know, this is why I hate you. This is why I really, really, really hate you. Because you were the original Mr. OCG man. You were playing cards pre-release.
Yeah.
Once we got the
That's
EDO,
fine.
Yeah, but I want my cards to look the same in real life. You don't even have some of these cards. They're not available.
But I'm good
They
to
didn't
get them. I'm good
No,
to
but
get
then the
them.
ban list would come out and those cards wouldn't be able to be
That's
accessible.
not true. The
And
cards that
always
I
happens.
play are trash anyway. Like for me, it's like I picked up the Millennium cards. Did any of the Millennium cards get hit? No.
Nah, they're about to.
No.
They're going right after Golem. They're going after that shit.
Why?
Because it searches. What are you talking about?
Leave my shrine of Woodju alone.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Wedju. Whatever it's called.
My Woodju.
Yeah, but I think that you're not wrong. I think that when you get into that, I don't think you are wrong. Because you
No, you're wrong.
Because I was Mr. TCG, man. I was like, oh, I can only play cards that are available in the TCG.
You're only making this because you're...
Well, now I play OCG cards.
No, but now you're doing this because you're so hooked on Isolde that, like, you know, where Isolde is the only thing keeping your limp Celtic Guardian deck running. So if
it's a Noble Knight deck with Celtic Guardian, featuring Celtic Guardian.
Well, maybe he should feature himself to the card graveyard.
Well, Hunter Guardian is now more of a feature in the Primite deck, and I think that's working pretty well.
Alright, well, that actually makes more sense.
Well, yeah, it fits.
Works.
But that is my list. Well, not my list. That is the list of the most used cards. Is any of this been a surprise to you guys? Any of this like, oh, what? Oh, where's this card? Oh, just comment down below. I'd love to see that. And what are your thoughts on this? Or do you even play MasterDuel? Because I would like to know, if you're watching this video, you probably should be. I like the app. Overall, I think it's not a bad app. But I play it every day. I do enjoy it. And I think this year I've been taking more of a step of like, building a healthy balance between playing, because last year was just all MasterDuel. This year I've been doing more MasterDuel, and I play in the real life too, of the real shit. So I'm like, I need the real shit and that. So I get a healthier balance of like, the game isn't just this, it is also this. There's options, and you don't grow that pit of hate that a lot of older players get for the game. You get the creativity, you get the free range to like deck building in different spaces, and your opinions on cards do change because of how dominant they are on one stage versus another.
Okay.
So yeah, those are my thoughts. Comment them down below. Let me know yours. Subscribe to the channel. His IG, along
my Instagram. Check it out. I featured my rare cards
and all of our personal MasterDuel IDs and all of that type of stuff. If you want to play some MasterDuel, it's all down there too. So see all of that. Check you guys out. 2 previous videos.
Bye.
Hey, this is Seno Kaiba. Listen, Kisame and Spidey, I just want to tell you something. You're both third-rate duelists with fourth-rate decks. Oh, and I play my Blue Eyes White Dinosaur.